Welcome to In the Shop, the video series where we take you behind the scenes with the trusted vendors and innovative solutions available inside the shop. In every episode, we introduce you to industry leaders and cutting-edge services that are designed to help you sell more, service smarter, operate faster, and stay ahead of the competition. Whether you're looking to streamline operations, boost profitability, or just make running your dealership a little easier, it's all right here in the shop. And today I am delighted to be joined by Rick Ruiz, the president at American Hole-in-One. Rick, how are you today?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Do you prefer that people have the pronunciation Ruiz? Is it really well pronounced, or do you say it a little faster?
No, you nailed it right. Ruiz.
Ruiz, okay.
It's a four-letter word people mess up all the time. I get a bunch of enunciations for it, but Ruiz is the right way.
I love that. Well, I'm really looking forward to this conversation. I think that all of the dealers that get into the shop that are learning about these opportunities, new service providers and vendors, are really going to get a lot out of understanding what a very practical solution and offering your company brings to the table. For those that have never met Rick, Rick's a results-driven senior executive with extensive insurance industry experience, delivering multi-million-dollar growth in revenue, earnings, and market share through targeted strategies. As president of American Hole-in-One, a division of distinguished programs, he oversees strategic direction, P&L, and all operations. He's focused on expanding into new markets, strengthening digital presence, and maintaining the company's leadership in prize insurance. Under his leadership, American Hole-in-One has become the world's largest provider of prize insurance for sports and promotional events, emphasizing integrity, teamwork, and exceptional customer service, making it a trusted partner for dealers and clients, and a top workplace for their employees. Rick, I'm really excited to get into it. The first thing I really want to ask, I think, is what everybody would want to know if they've never heard of you before, and that is, what is Hole-in-One Insurance?
Sure. So thanks for the introduction, a great introduction to a really interesting business that works really well with the auto industry. American Hole-in-One is the largest provider of prize indemnity, as you said. And how that correlates into the auto industry is the opportunity for dealers to sponsor. And golf tournaments are a really, really good way to grassroots market and sponsor at events and put your brand out there and in front of a really good demographic. The tournament golfer is a buyer. And so auto dealers love to sponsor at local golf outings. We get to be a part of that relationship, and we have been with the auto industry since the mid-'80s. We put together the first hole-in-one package that's catering to the auto industry. So aside from really just being an insurance product that covers them if the ball goes in the hole, it provides a really intense on-course marketing package that allows that dealer to look like a featured sponsor at a golf outing. So when you're walking the course as a golfer or as a guest, you'll see the brand, the cars, the signage that we provide really makes them stand out as a featured sponsor and not just somebody who was mildly participating in the event. The hole-in-one insurance component really is where my background comes from an insurance perspective. It's coverage, right? It's just like any other insurance. You're taking a chance, buying coverage for something that's unknown that could happen. And in this case, it's the chance of loss of a dollar value of a vehicle or sponsorship if you're putting cash towards a vehicle or something of that nature. So we get to be around a really fun side of insurance. Not a lot of insurance is thought of as fun, but prize indemnity is around a lot of cool stuff, and especially on the sports side of it. So our main product that we do work with dealers on is the hole-in-one insurance. And, just a real, picture example of what it really is. You and three buddies are playing in a charity golf event. You walk up to a hole and there is a brand new car. It's a par 3 hole. There's a brand new car sitting there. And it says, hey, if you hit the ball and it goes in one shot, you're going to win this car. And everybody thinks that the dealer's giving the car away, or the tournament or the golf course is providing the car, when really the dealer bought insurance that if that ball goes in the hole, they don't have to buy the car or give the car away. We do it on their behalf. And it's a very, very, very small cost compared to the value of the car. And we do that 18,000 times a year across the country and across the globe. We do a lot of business. We do about 15,000 of those are in the continental U.S., and then the remaining 3,000 are abroad. And so that's hole-in-one insurance in a quick nutshell.
Yeah, I think it's a fascinating concept. I've seen it out there, but I didn't know the backstory. I love always getting to have these conversations with people like you because it helps me understand things that I've seen before, but I didn't actually know exactly how it all works. I know there's some we've talked about off camera. There are some fun facts related to what you guys do that I think the audience might be interested in. And I know there's some facts around like amateur shots
Sure.
and pro shots and tour pro shots. And I think for especially for there's so many golfers in the automotive vertical. I think they might be interested in you sharing a few of those if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, we get that all the time because the general consensus is a lot of hole-in-ones don't happen, and they actually do. It's a law of large numbers. So many balls go up in the air, some are going to fall in the hole, right? And so statistically, we can predict the business because we know based on years and years of data how many shots it takes before one goes in the hole. That's where those stats come in that you're talking about. So amateur shots, that's me and you, right? We're going out there. We've been asked to play in a golf outing. We're hackers. We love the game of golf, but we don't play it in a professional way. It's 1 in 11,000 shots. So every 11,000 shots from an amateur, it's going in the hole. From a pro, so think about a teaching pro, the guy at the club that works at the club, those guys, that level of pro golfer, it's 1 in about 7,500 shots. So when they get asked to play in the events, it changes the odds a little bit of how we price it and the chances of the ball going in the hole. And then tour pros, believe it or not, 1 in 2,500 shots goes in. And you would think it'd be lower because they're pros and they're out there all the time. It's just as hard for a pro, right? It's 1 in 2,500. It's hard to still go in the hole. And so those are really the three tranches that we look at when it comes to odds: amateurs, regular pros, and tour pros. Those are the odds. And then if there's celebrities or certain athletic groups that play, we tend to look at changing the odds. There's a lot of celebrities that play a ton of golf that aren't necessarily pros, but they can really hit the ball well, right? And so when those come around, we also look at the odds. But those are the three big buckets of odds.
Do you know off the top of your head how many actually went in the hole maybe the last season for you guys?
I can tell you for us, we had 456. I know very well because we pay them. So we had 456 hole-in-ones last year. Yeah, we paid out a little shy of $3 million in prizes.
That's fascinating. Fascinating. I love learning about this. Well, the next thing I would like to hear from you on is I think to get really specific to dealers when they might be sitting here listening to the content, learning about American Hole-in-One, and they're thinking, but why do I need it? And you started to talk about that, and I think it's really important people understand this as an insurance product that obviously has a relationship with risk. And I think that when dealers are trying to get their arms around, how does this kind of work for me, that giving them that context is helpful. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to just hear you, kind of answer the dealer question of like, why would I need it?
Yeah, and dealers are really smart business folks, and so most of them get the why. There are some that you have to get into a little bit as to when they've had a bunch of events and they're trying to think, should we still need to buy insurance for it? And you obviously do. So the real general reason why it's insurance is to protect you. And if you don't have it and the ball goes in the hole, you're in trouble. You got to give a car away. Someone's getting the car, and so. And even nowadays, you and I talked about this off air. It's not even just the financial risk of the car. Okay, now I got to give this new vehicle away, but it's the bad press or the social media that says, "Hey, this dealer is trying to renege on giving a deal or giving the car or holding his end of the bargain up." And we've seen it time and time again where, a sponsor gets just decimated on social media because they didn't buy insurance, right? And so you need to buy insurance. It's to protect your brand, to protect your business, to protect yourself from financial loss. Secondary, you need to buy it from a reputable company. Even if it's not American Hole-in-One, do your due diligence when you buy Hole-in-One insurance. It is not funny money. It's not monopoly money. It's real insurance. And so make sure you're buying it from somebody who's licensed, somebody who's got insured products. It's not, two guys in a basement in South Florida decided to open a Hole-in-One company and they're really just floating it themselves. It is an insurance product. Buy it from somebody who's involved with the insurance departments in the states, in each state, and can comply so that if there is ever a problem and the ball goes in the hole and there's a refusal to pay or a denial, you've got some recourse through the insurance department and you're not just sitting there holding the bag. So it is insurance. I tell people all the time, people think about fun and games when it comes to half court shots and hockey puck shots and golf, but it's true insurance. You're actually insuring the potential of a loss. And so just like you would when you insure your home, your car, your business, it's the same concept of insurance. It's just in a fun space, but you still got to treat it like insurance.
Mhm. That makes sense. I know there's probably people that immediately start thinking, what what's it cost? How do you and you talked about this a little bit. It sounds like there's a lot of data points, some averages and some math and a lot of maybe science that goes into coming up with how do you guys come up with the cost of this? Would you mind speaking to that a little bit, some of those factors?
Sure. Yeah, the main three levers of hole-in-one insurance are the distance of the shot, right? So how far is the shot being taken? The number of shots, how many participants are playing in that tournament that are going to be taking shots, and then the value of the prize. In this case, the value of the vehicle you're putting out there as a prize, or money towards a lease, or money towards a car, whatever that value is. Those are really the three biggest levers that come up with the rate, and then you can take it up and down from that based on other attributes. Like I mentioned before, if it's a celebrity pro-am type of event where you're going to have celebrities playing that are better golfers, you might see it go up a little bit. If it's a senior event or a ladies event only, you might see the rates go down because statistically, the chances of going in go down. And so, but those three levers alone, if you're saying, hey, just what do I need to know to get a rate for hole-in-one insurance? Those are generally the three. And if you're getting a quote for hole-in-one insurance, know if there's going to be any pros invited to play. And know the distance of the shot, and of course the prize you're putting out there. So it's pretty easy to do. And like you said, there's so much data that we have that allows us to come up with the methodology to rate it. The one thing that's kind of unique about us too, compared to a lot of folks that are in the space, is we don't price things in bands. We don't say, okay, if the vehicle is from X dollar to Y dollar, the price is the same, because we know that the value of the prize isn't the same. And so our price fluctuates based on the prize value and based on every one of those things per yard, per $1,000. So if you got a $50,000 car out there, it's less expensive to cover than a $55,000 car. And so we make sure that the price that's going out to the dealer is for the exact risk and not for some band that covers, a band of value or a band of distance, because somewhere in that band there's not a good price. And so, or not the right price. In our case, we try to get it as accurate as we possibly can.
Mm. Those are absolutely, I guarantee you, details that the average dealer does not know about what goes into making sure that they've got the right provider and they understand how all of these things work. It's always good to get right from the source this type of detail and background, because I think that, and it sets up really the next thing that I want to ask is, it helps people understand why, in this case, American Hole-in-One is such a strong choice, why it makes sense that your potential customers look at your company over others. You already mentioned, and I think it speaks a lot to your confidence and your character, that you would tell people at least have a reputable company. Like you said, do your due diligence. I love to get a little bit more from you. Be a little selfish. It's okay. Why do you think the dealers really should be looking at American Hole-in-One specifically for this type of coverage?
Yeah. So the main answer is our familiarity with the auto industry, right? So there's a lot of folks that do hole-in-one insurance that were more around the tournament director, small prizes, smaller events where you got a $5,000 or $10,000 prize being put out there by a tournament. We've been dealing with the auto industry for a long, long time. In fact, when I was at Zurich back in my previous life, I knew about American Hole-in-One before I came here because they were in the automotive news, right? And I was keeping up with the industry that I was insuring when I was at Zurich, and I'd see this hole-in-one company, and I go, man, this is a cool company. But that's way back, they were already entrenched with the automobile industry. So fast forward to now that I'm here, it's just absolutely certain that we know the car business. We adjust to when vehicles are made differently. Like, for instance, you can't put a magnet on a car that's made out of aluminum, right? So we meet with our dealers and we say, hey, how do we help put something on that car? So when it's sitting out there, you used to put a magnet on the door, but now we do vinyl clings as well, right? So a lot of Ford vehicles are aluminum. You stick a magnet there, it's just going to fall right off. And so we really know the auto industry. We participate in the NADA I guess we've been there for over 25 years now, the National Auto Dealer Association. We go to the places where the auto industry goes because that's our biggest buying group, and we want to make sure we cater to them and learn as much as we can about it. So that's first and foremost. Secondarily is we do things the right way. Are we always going to be the cheapest? No. Are we always going to be honest? Yes. Are we going to put the right coverage and give you the best marketing package out there? 100% of the time. So sometimes we go, oh, wait, people want to negotiate and say, I found it somewhere else cheaper. Well, just like in the auto industry, all cars aren't the same. You get what you pay for. And so we make sure that the dealers are getting the best product out there with the best prizes that they can have, with the best marketing package that they can have out there. When they choose to sponsor something, they're getting the best value for their dollar they're spending. And so that's a huge deal. And then lastly, we've been talking about it, in previous questions, is just making sure that dealers are buying it from somebody who's doing it the right way from an insurance perspective. You want to make sure that if a ball goes in the hole, there is not a negative experience for the dealer, the winner, the tournament, the golf course. It's got to be a great experience. And the way to guarantee that is to make sure you're buying insurance from a company that does it the right way and doesn't play in the gray. You're buying it from us. If a ball goes in the hole, it's going to get paid and everybody's going to have a really good experience.
It's so important. All of what you just shared, I think, is important for dealers. And I've been in this industry, in the automotive industry, for 30 years. It matters to them when the businesses that they choose to partner with have experience in their vertical, that they understand it. And like you said, that you're at the NADA convention every year. You are participating in automotive events. And it sounds like you guys have been at that for so long that you have a really, really deep bench of experience. You know what you're doing. And I think for a lot of dealers, I can't speak for all of them, but being in the industry for a long time, I know that experience matters to them. It oftentimes is probably the one thing that would differentiate one selection over another. So I love that you guys have that. And I think that dealers will also really appreciate the fact that you speak their language, as they like to say. And
Sure.
so I love hearing about that. And I think that the dealers will as well. The kind of last thing that I wanted to ask is, is it just hole in one? You mentioned in one of your other answers a couple of things that makes me think it's not just hole in one. But do you offer, and I should say, just what are the other ways that you offer dealers, experiences that they can take advantage of that are like hole in one? Because obviously it's golf season now, and depending on where you are in the country, it's kind of year round in some places. Florida comes to mind, Arizona comes to mind, but I'm sure that there are other ways that people take advantage of this insurance product that you guys offer, and I'd love to hear more about that. I'm sure that dealers would as well.
Yeah. I mean, golf's a year-round sport. You don't have the volume of it year-round, but you do have the sunshine states, like you said, where it happens. But even if it was, dealers still need to diversify how they sponsor, how they interact with their community, how they get people in their showroom. And so we do a litany of things that are not golf. If you look behind me, the other brand next to American Hole in One up there is called Grand Prize Promotions. And that's really where we put our non-golf business, not to confuse the marketplace, because it's hard to say, hey, I'm buying a half-court shot from a company called American Hole in One. It just doesn't tie. And so we transact under Grand Prize Promotion, same building, same people, but just as far as the messaging to the marketplace. We do a ton of stuff. It's all skills-based and odd-based promotions. So think about local high school football games, basketball games. We cover the half court shots at every Kentucky basketball home game. That's us covering it. You've probably seen on ESPN the putts across a basketball court, at Auburn. All those are covered promotions, the kind of stuff that we do. Anytime the dealer's is asked to sponsor or wants to sponsor something around the sports space, there's a coverage and a promotion that we can do for it. And we do. So take the sports stuff out. We also do a lot of showroom promotion. So now my goal is to get people in my building. I want butts and seats to help me sell cars. How do we get them in here? So we can do showroom promotions that drive people into the dealership for a chance to win. You could have a safe with the keys in it, or you could have a safe on a door to a car. We got to put your birthday in or a code in, and if it opens, you win the car. All kinds of neat things like that. We have digital games that are good for data capture. For instance, right now we're getting a lot of interest in our college playoff pick'em, and so this is a digital game that you can invite your customers, or even your service department customers can do it, to pick the teams they think are going to make the college playoffs in order. And it allows you to get some data capture. It gives you a fun interaction with your customer or prospect, with a chance to win a really cool prize. All of it done digitally. And so just really neat stuff that we can do. We try to to do as much as we can to help the dealers with their goals. When you think about attracting attention, brand recognition, excitement, traffic to their showroom, and of course generating revenue, right? So everything that we do tries to fill those needs when a dealer has them. Another big one we'll do, and we can talk about this for days because we do so many different things, but we do a lot of big promotions that would be around if, for instance, if you bought your car in the month of December and it snows on New Year's Day in Atlanta, everybody who bought their car at the dealership gets their money back, right? That's called a conditional rebate. And it can be any lever. It can be, hey, if the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl, everybody who bought their car in X period of time gets their car back or gets $5,000 of their money back. Stuff like that. Big, huge promotions you can run over a period of time that don't cost a ton of money because it's all odds based and you're buying something for something that's going to happen in the future, and you can't predict the future, so you tend to be a lot less percentage of the prize value, if you will. So neat stuff like that. Long answer to your question is that if a dealer has a goal they want to do and they want to tie it into something fun and some prize and some insurance around that, we can help them. We got a team of people here who have been doing it for 3 decades that can come up with great ideas and great solutions to achieve what they're trying to do.
Well, I feel like I'm a broken record, just heaping praise on you for just sharing all the great content. But I always try to, as I get this opportunity to talk to so many business leaders, founders, presidents, folks just like yourself, when it starts to broaden my perspective, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I've been around the car business for a long time. And when the picture becomes clear, for me, and I'm not even a dealer, but on behalf of dealers, I get excited about it because all of the things that you're explaining, from, let's just say, the primary focus of American Hole-in-One. You do a lot of golf events, you sponsor a lot. Now your dealership has a great option in terms of this coverage. But what you just shared as we come to the end of this conversation, as a marketer, it makes me think that there's probably going to be marketing related folks watching this content, and they're going to get inspired by what you just shared, because you can come up with these types of promotions that are organic in nature, that connect with customers and bring you opportunities, even if it's over a long period of time, to start relationships with people using something as unique as the services that you provide through your company. And so I just want to say thanks for sharing all of that on behalf of the dealers that will consume this content and learn more about your business. Just great stuff that you shared today, Rick. So thanks for doing that.
Happy to do it. Happy to be a part of this podcast. I think it's a great avenue to talk to dealers about something really exciting. I think the shop's doing a great job of providing products the dealers can find there. We've been so fortunate to get into this partnership and give Ford and Lincoln retailers a choice when it comes to the kind of stuff that we offer. And we work hard to earn the right to be in there and to provide an excellent product and service. So I'm happy to be here and would love to do it again. This is fun.
Well, thanks again. To the audience listening and or watching, thanks for joining us in the shop. If you're ready to learn more or take the next step with any of these solutions, but very much including, if you want to learn more about American Hole-in-One, well, jump into that marketplace. You'll learn all about it. And it's built exclusively for you, for dealers and Lincoln retailers. And don't forget to stay tuned for more episodes as we continue to showcase the trusted partners that are helping you drive dealership success. Until next time, we'll see you in the shop.